Hello, I'm SallyRose, and I'm going to be making rose water today. And it's rose water in quarantine, so, not super pretty, just kind of what's going to happen. Things you need before you start is a bowl, boop, and a pair of gloves, because again, roses, and a nice pair of gardening clippers. These are my favorites. And then you need roses. So let's see, where are our roses? Oh, look at that. Beautiful rose bushes of varying kinds and options. So let's go get a little closer. You can get big blooms or not so big blooms, but you just want to make sure you get a really nice size that will work for you. I'm very fortunate that these are all in bloom. You kind of want super fragrant ones when you're making rose water, but you can do whatever you like. And when you're cutting them, you can cut them down right about, let's pull that out a little bit so you can see where you're cutting them at. You want to cut them so that they're at a good length. So I'm going to pause this while I actually do the cutting, because you can't do that one-handed. After you've got a nice bowl of roses, you want to take them inside, and then you want to take them apart and take them off the vine. So that's what we're going to do next. Here are my roses, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to take them and I'm going to take the petals off of the petals in a strainer. So just using my hands, gently pull them off. Do that with all of your roses, and I'm going to pause while we do that. So now we have a whole bunch of rose petals, 1 cup of rose petals, and you don't have to pack it in too tightly, but it's good to be thorough. And yes, I have more than I need, but that means I can make more. So I've got 1 cup of rose petal, and in my pot, as you can see, I have put 3 cups of water, because I put a little more water and a little more rose petals. And then you put them in, and then you're going to cover the pot. Yes, my lid is a little bit bigger. And you're going to let it boil. And you're going to bring the water to a boil together. And while you're doing that, then you're going to watch them as they boil, and you're going to bring it up. Once it starts to boil, you're going to drop your temperature down to the lowest setting you can and let it simmer, stirring occasionally, until all of the color is out of your rose petals. So you can hear that the water is starting to boil. So we're going to take the lid off for a minute, take a peek, see how we're doing. Not quite boiling, but it smells really good when I did that. And you can see that that's what they look like before I put them in, and now they're already starting to get almost white, but they're not quite ready yet. And there's the boiling that I was looking for. I'm going to scroll in just a little so you can see the teeny tiny boils. There we go. So as you can see, I turned down the thing down to 1, so it's down to 1. There's a little bit of splashing from when I picked up the lid, but it's still boiling in there. So we're going to let it simmer for about 5 minutes. We're going to come back and check on it, and then we will see where we're at. It's sizzling as the water is boiling. Yay! Water boil! As you can see, I'm going to lift the lid. The color is coming out of them. Yes, it's very steamy, but you'll notice that they're going almost white. So I think we're doing well. We're going to give them another 5 minutes, and then we'll see where we're at. It is recommended we use a dark jar so that the light doesn't get into it. So I went and found one out of my collection of jars. So this is the one I'm going to use for my rose water. And once it's completely cool, we will put it in this jar. We've boiled it down, and you can see that the leaves or the rose petals are almost translucent, if you will. I'm going to just put one on my finger. You can see all the color has come out of it. And it's cooled down. I'm taking cheesecloth, a funnel, and a little black bottle, which I've shown you earlier. I'm putting the funnel in, putting the cheesecloth over it, and then I'm going to pour as best I can, and Andrew is helping me, that's who those extra fingers are, the water through it. You'll need at least 2 containers because as you can see, this one got really full. So we had to pause to get a second jar. And then you just pour it through your cheesecloth into your, double check that you don't overflow it. And you still have a little bit left over. I can make whole nother container. But now we have 2 very full jars of rose water. You just need to make sure you label them so you know how long you've had them and how long they've been sitting. Okay, so now we have 3 full bottles. You want to label them, and then you can put them in your refrigerator and have them for later, for perfumes and for other wonderful things. So there you go, rose water.